What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to game number 2 here between Happy and SLiDeR. This time we are on Antigua Shipyard. We've got SLiDeR spawning in the lower right-hand spawn location as our blue Protoss player, and over here in the lower left-hand position, or middle left-hand position, whatever you want to call it, Empire's Happy as the yellow Terran player. So yes, this is game number 2 here on Antigua Shipyard in the series between Happy and SLiDeR. We did see Happy actually end up winning game number 1, just the bio able to overpower SLiDeR. I think a major issue too is that we saw some fairly effective harass from Happy, and SLiDeR actually took pretty significant damage from a couple of drops, some Hellion harass, even the Banshee harass was able to do a little bit of damage. But the truth is that all game we didn't really see much of any harass at all from SLiDeR. In addition to that, some very nicely placed EMPs made it pretty much impossible. Well, I don't know if I'll say impossible, but SLiDeR wasn't able to land any very effective psionic storms. Dealing with EMPs and snipes from the Ghost of Happy, he just wasn't able to get his High Templar into position. Maybe grouping them up too much, or maybe just not feedbacking enough. I'm not sure what we want to call it, but again, the end result was SLiDeR not landing a lot of storms when he was going High Templar after transitioning from Colossus, and without that, without any blanket storms damaging the bio even a little bit, you're going to lose against stemmed up bio as well as those ghosts. There's just really nothing he could do about it. Plus EMPs all over his army, just completely devastating. So there you go. That was the end result there in game number 1. And once more, this is game 2. All right, now Happy moving out with his scouting SCV. He will be scouting SLiDeR immediately. As we can see this game, SLiDeR not deciding to open up 15 Nexus. That would be a little bit more dangerous here on this map in particular. Although it's not the smallest of maps, it's certainly much smaller than Terminus is. So on Antigua Shipyard, if you were to try to go 15 Nexus, it'd be a little bit more hairy, most certainly. A little bit of mineral line harass there from Happy as he tries to delay probes from mining from that one mineral patch. Unfortunately, though, you're supposed to stop before you actually pick up the minerals. That's how you can effectively do that. We'll be patrolling down here as he tries to spot out if SLiDeR will be going for a 1-gate expand. We do have the probe now as well of SLiDeR moving out, and he will be scouting out Happy pretty much immediately. Unfortunately, he is about to run into a Marine. Actually, one Marine already out. Here's the second Marine popping out, so SLiDeR won't be able to make it up into the main, and here we go with just a little bit of micro. The probe is forced all the way back. Doesn't stand a chance, and actually ends up losing it. A little bit of missed micro there from SLiDeR. He could have very easily gotten away with that had he just grabbed control of it and pulled it away from those Marines and then back through the front there. But again, missed micro, or just rather not microing at all, and resulted in him losing that. And that's one of those things, you know, those unnecessary losses that you hope not to see when you're watching kind of professional caliber play. But you know what, you can't win them all. We do have a second refinery coming out here for Happy. Happy once more deciding to stay on some one base play opening, going immediately into that factory with that second refinery, and we should be seeing a starport here. The dead giveaway, of course, is going to be the fact that that second refinery is up so early and while still on one base. When you go bio heavy, you open up at 2 or 3 racks, you only need one refinery. It isn't unless you are going for some crazy heavy tech play that you need a second refinery on one base, in all honesty. There's all sorts of various types of pushes, but most of the time what you're going to see is like a one or two, or in the olden days, I don't know what I'm saying, but we used to see 3 racks, but unfortunately for Terran players, Protoss quite easily knows how to deal with it at this point. All it really requires is some nice force field placement, and you can hold off of 3 racks without issue. But anyways, that's enough of that. Point is, early second refinery is a dead giveaway to a heavy techie build, and that is precisely what we're seeing. Now, scouting out with the Hellion, able to scout out the expansion. Unfortunately, though, a nice force field placement there from SLiDeR prevented that Hellion from making it up into the main, so I'm not going to get much more scouting information than that. But here it is, Cloaked Banshee's coming out for Happy. So Happy opening up with that Cloaked Banshee. He was desperately trying to get into the main, though, to try to scout if there was a robotics coming out. And as we can see, there is in fact a robotics coming out. We'll see if that observer makes it out in time. I think he should be able to. So yes, indeed, I do expect that observer to be out in time and stop that Cloaked Banshee from doing much, if any, damage whatsoever. Early game Stalker able to push on forward. The bunker's going to force him back, though, not able to get much Marine damage. And some more really unfortunate miss micro there from SLiDeR, taking very unnecessary damage on his Stalker. Once more, that was the exact same situation as we saw with the probe. He could have just pulled the Stalker away instead of hugging the edge, he pulled it away and then pulled back. Certainly it's not the end of the world. He just took a little bit of damage. Down from 80 health damage, the shields will recharge down to 67. But still, that's going to weaken up that Stalker for the next engagement, and that's not what you want at all. Now there goes the Banshee moving forward. However, as we can see there, Observer fully aware and able to pull on down, so SLiDeR should not be taking too much damage at all from this. Now, we have a second Banshee as well, Stim Pack, and an expansion here just about to finish for Happy. So Happy will be keeping up that Banshee harass. I don't think we'll be seeing much more than that second, though. A third seems very unlikely. He may go to a Raven, or he may just start making some medevacs and pull off that Tech Lab, allowing a Rax to get on it. But coming out with many more than 2 Banshees early on, you just really can't be that effective. And again, as you can see, realizing now that there's an Observer in play because that Banshee was spotted, and that resulted in him taking some damage. So really don't know how much more he's going to be able to do. We are having a Raven follow-up, Stim Pack coming through in a bio transition. You can see 2 more racks up there in production. We are seeing these Banshees now move down and do a little harass, actually able to kill off a pylon and pull all the way back. Observer out front was able to scout out what? What did he scout? That's the question. Well, looks like he did scout the expansion, so he knows the expansion is coming through. I believe that was that. No, that expansion scout was from the Stalker, so he didn't scout anything, unfortunately, there with that Observer. He decided not to pull all the way in, possibly worried about the fact that that Raven's there and not wanting to lose his Observer. So again, SLiDeR, very nice and defended there against those Banshees. Now he did lose that pylon, but he shouldn't really be taking much more losses. Ooh, losing a couple of workers there. Actually, total of 5 right now. Happy killing off 5 workers. One of which was at the front of the base, that huge blunder, but 4 worker kills there from the resource line due to this harassment. So very nice. Take a look there. That one Banshee has got 3, and that one's sitting with 2. So there you go. There you go. Now we do have a push coming out here from SLiDeR. SLiDeR realizing that that expansion is up. He's trying to take advantage of the fact that he may not be prepared for this push, but very nice placement. Now, what does this factory do? I'll tell you right now. Push comes up. Unless we actually have SLiDeR specifically micro units within range of those bunkers, we're probably going to see some units actually targeting the factory instead of the bunkers, and that's a major issue, and that's exactly what he doesn't want. Now here we go. We do have the SCVs moving up, trying to be able to repair that bunker. Got an auto turret coming down, some cloaked Banshees as well, pushing forward, going immediately for those Immortals, and actually able to do a lot of damage because there's no Observer over here. He cannot see these Banshees, and look at this SLiDeR taking some hefty losses. Now only losing a few units may not sound like a lot, but it's just one of those unnecessary things. I mean, man, you have an Observer. What is going on? I think that may have got sniped down. Maybe one of his Observers got sniped down. Yeah, he's down to just the 1. So I think he lost the 1 Observer that was in the fight because of the fact that that Raven was there, and I believe the Marines must have just sniped that out of the sky. So there you go. That actually worked out perfectly there for Happy. Some excellent play there by him. And again, the Banshee's kind of able to dance around. Now they are all out of energy, so no more cloak will be taking place, but he can still try to move forward, and you're going to see him actually try to bunch up those 2 Banshees there. Back over here, we can see SLiDeR trying to move into his 3rd. I'm waiting for those Banshees to try to engage. Oh, there we go. Stalker's out front, going to stop them from doing any damage. I think he was trying to get a couple pop shots off on any of those Zealots and or that Immortal there. So Happy's still dancing back and forth now. Take a look at this. We can see Bio still. So it looks like going to be the same type of unit composition. Going to be some Bio heavy. He's got a few medevacs in there. There's a Raven. We do have that Colossus transition again here coming out for SLiDeR. Scan getting placed there. He's not going to be scouting the bay with that, though. As we can see, the bay is down there. And I don't think that is something that he has seen. No, he is not. So he doesn't know that Colossus are out yet. Cloaking past the army, making their way into the main right now. Here come those cloaked Banshees. 1 Stalker getting warped in. That's not going to be enough. He's going to need a little bit more. Able to get a few kills off here of some more workers. More and more. The numbers are climbing now. 12, 13, 14. And it's going to keep going up as he works his way into the natural expansion without any Stalkers there. There we go. Sentry able to engage. And also moving down with those Stalkers, able to push it back, but now sitting at a total of 19 workers killed and not losing a single Banshee. And once more, some nice harassment from Happy, able to do a wee bit of damage. Ooh, just barely past that expansion. Wasn't able to scout the fact that SLiDeR does have that third up. He's sitting pretty comfortably over here. We got Stalkers moving across the map. No blink coming out anytime soon. Just working on his upgrades there for those Colossus. You can see that Thermal Lance is making its way out, pushing forward, able to take out that proxy pylon. Here's Bio Heavy. Let's take a look at the upgrades. 0-0 right now for our Terran player Happy. SLiDeR also sitting 0-0. So no upgrades for either player at the moment. They're just focusing on their economies and focusing on actually getting out physical units. Something to engage with that is so very important. And as important as upgrades are, if you don't have enough units to actually be able to defend yourself and get hit with a timing push before upgrades come, well, that can really screw you. Cloak Banshee's moving on down, getting a couple more kills right now. Total now is 21 workers killed in those 2 Banshees. How impressive are they? 12 kills, 11 kills. Both of them are sergeants. Good job, Banshees. Good job on your promotion to sergeant. I am so impressed. One Marine scouting out front. He just wants to see if SLiDeR does move forward with another push. We finally have a Ghost Academy in play, so we will be seeing some Ghost in action too already. And starting also make that transition to Viking just to deal with those Colossus. Now, he did drop a scan, and I think he may have finally scouted out. Yes, he did. So he was able to scout out that Robotics Bay as he moved on down with those Banshees, and that prompted that transition into some more Colossus. Marine gets sniped out, so now Happy knows SLiDeR is coming, replacing that factory for the same reason I mentioned before. It's going to help distract some fire and actually kind of absorb. You can think of it as like absorbing fire, because units in the back not within range of the bio will hit the factory instead of hitting the bio, and that allows them to get kind of the first shot off on any of those units that are distracted by attacking a building. And that's the whole idea behind that. So pretty nice placement there by Happy. Very impressive indeed. 2 Banshees still over here again, 12 and 11 kills. We do want to see move back in, and here they come, trying to move back in. Observer is there, though. That'll let those Stalkers get a couple of shots off, 2 shots. That one in the red, decloaking and pulling back. And slow, no, that's no good. Banshee's going to be moving down there. Needs to be careful about engaging those Stalkers. Actually, look at that. SLiDeR pulling back with his forces, so the Banshees will make it nice and safe. And where's their planned trajectory? Looks like they're going right in the main, so some more damage from these Banshees. Happy just being so active with that. Now, I'm a little concerned at the moment because of the fact that SLiDeR does have that 3rd up, and Happy does not. He does not have a 3rd expansion up at all. He's still just on a 2, but he is really mounting up his forces. We can take a look at the army supply. 108 for Happy as opposed to 89 for SLiDeR, and some more econ damage, and that Banshee loses his life, but you know what? He took plenty in return. That Banshee's gone. Total damage done. 30 workers killed. Yeah, I would say that's worth 2 Banshees. Would you say that's worth 2 Banshees? Absolutely, positively. 2 Banshees getting 30 worker kills. That is certainly worth it. Happy now moving into his 3rd expansion. Finally, should be able to push on down with his forces. We'll be moving the factory now to the center of the map, dropping a scan just to check if SLiDeR was sitting right over there. And now he repositions his army so he can defend his natural main and his 3rd expansion. And once more, Happy, in terms of army size, sitting in actually very comfortable position. He's got right now a 24 supply lead over SLiDeR in terms of the actual army. There is a beautiful EMP and another. SLiDeR getting hit with some mass. Oh no! All the High Templar got hit with an EMP. That's going to let the bio push up, stim, and force the GG. That is why you spread out High Templar. Alright, my friends, that was game number 2 and the final game in this series. It was a best of 3. Happy doing the clean sweep, taking it 2 games to 0. Some very clutch EMPs at the end, and exactly why you need to spread out your High Templar against a Terran player going Ghost. This is so devastating and force the GG right away. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the series. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thanks again. Keep watching and keep owning. Wow, that was a nice EMP.